Hi, everyone. It's me. Hello. Happy holidays to those of you that are celebrating the holiday today. So, what I'm going to discuss today is I had an extremely rough week for me. And I have been putting off and putting off and putting off doing a vlog until I felt better, looked fine, whatever the excuses are. And finally, today, whether I look fine or not, I am here. And I am going to discuss what happened this week. So, happy Easter to you. Um, Becca, it's nice to see you guys and prismatized. So, at the beginning of this week, I had a really, actually, it was a hard experience, but it was really enlightening. So I had called this organization to go and do the democracy voucher program, which is really amazing. It's a thing the city of Seattle is doing. And I had called them for that so that we could come in and share what the democracy voucher program was about. I'm the community liaison for the unhoused. So I really want to get the unhoused population having a voice, because these are taxpayers, these are citizens, these are people with a voice and a vote, and it affects them deeply. So beyond that, I was there. Hi, David. Hi, King Billingsley. Hi, Bill. So I went there and met with, and I brought the leader of the community liaisons for our project and her intern to just kind of show them, how I do and how things go. And I miss my bus stop. So I get dropped off like a mile away. And when I go to places, I like to have something, whether it be clothing, some food stuff, some personal supplies, whatever it is that I got that I can give out and just say, appreciation. So I'm carrying, like, I had this wonderful little carry cart, and I want to thank Jeff so much because it came like just in time. So I'm carrying this up like a mile, meet Annie and her intern at Starbucks, and we just had a really great conversation. We get over to Dignity, and number one, we were late, but they had no idea. Even though I talked to them on the phone, they had no idea like who we were, what we were there for, and it just got really hype. And the thing is hi, Kate. I am a really hype person. I am good at looking fine. And when I go and do outreach, or when I go and talk to people, or when I go and do what I do, I have to be at a level where I am dealing with people on a hype level, because I can't leave the house if I'm not. So I go, and I understand it can be a lot for people to deal with. I'm very outgoing when I'm around people, and I get like almost manic. But I've never had a problem as of yet, really having that when, maybe when I was homeless, I had some issues with it, but I just had to explain, hey, this is what's going on. But I get there, and I'm finally, we figure out what's going on. She remembered who we were. We sat down. I get out my materials for the democracy voucher, and I start handing them over and explaining them. And she tells me, she goes, "Whoa, you need to stop." And I was like, okay. And she goes, "You are just too much. Your attitude is too much. You can't come in here just being up in people's faces, because I'm going to tell you right now, working with the homeless, you need to be chill. You need to approach them in a soft manner, and or they're never going to talk to you or want to work with you." And I went, "Oh, okay." And luckily, so luckily, Annie was there. And Annie has amazing communication skills. She's very soft spoken. Um, really great with people, and she's like the opposite of my edge. So I just sat back and I was like, "Hey, Annie, Annie can take it from here. She's, she is really soft spoken. Maybe she could explain it better than I can." And sat back and just kind of like felt the redness and the heat like go into my head, and just be like, okay. Hmm. And so we get done with that. And, of course, everybody was like, you handled that really well. I was like, thank you. Like, my skills are getting better. Before, if people would have approached me with aggressiveness, I would immediately approach it back with either the same or a higher level of aggressiveness. So criticism, whether constructive or otherwise, was really difficult to overcome because the emotions were so volatile and right there. I had a very hard time keeping those things in. Hi, Carol. And so I did really well. And when we got done and we talked to the youth care next door, we haven't heard back from them. And it may have been just because they had a bad experience with me. I don't know. I tried to handle it in the best way I could. Bye, King Billingsley. So it was a really difficult experience. And what it did is it really made me think. Think about the way I approach situations. Think about the way I approach people. Think about it, really actually made me go over the experiences I've had and to see if maybe I'm upsetting people. And the conclusion that I came to was that I have never been more accepted and loved and accepted for exactly who I am and exactly my personality and exactly everything about my little manic self sometimes than I have been in the vulnerable populations with people who understand that. And the work I do makes me feel fulfilled because I can do it and still be me and still do me. And that's not going to change. I am going to be who I am. Now, when I thought about this, I understood was that it was a personal thing. She felt that herself I was overwhelming, and she had every right to set those boundaries. But when we set those boundaries for ourselves and expect that that's going to be the norm for everybody, that's where I had to stop and really think. It's not the norm for everybody. It's definitely not the norm in the spheres that I work in. And so maybe for some people on a personal level, that's how they feel. And I have every respect for somebody setting their boundaries. But I will be completely honest. I agree, Kate. Yeah, I agree that it really was a personal issue that she had. But one of the things I also learned was that I wanted to get this woman. Bill knows that in Maine, they're having this amazing women's shelter opening. And I thought, well, great. She has a program that caters to the demographic of injured women, and this would be amazing to connect them. Seattle to Portland, Maine. How amazing is that? But I understood as well that if there's not collaboration, and I can't work with this person on a professional level because of whatever, then I cannot, in good faith, have them go to another organization and promote that way of being and that misunderstanding of really people. I agree. I agree, Kate. Thank you, Becca, and happy Easter, Manuel. So that was Monday. I haven't even got through Monday yet. This might be a long vlog. I'm just going to tell you. So pretty much that happened, and then I got invited to go on a Starbucks tour, but it got rescheduled. So hopefully that will be next week. So I was like a little butthurt by it, but whatever. And pretty much everything this week got rescheduled. I briefly considered a run for city council. Decided that at this juncture, I have a lot to do, and it really is at the basis of being okay, but I can't let it get overwhelming or I become unstable and my life becomes unstable, and I really have to have to work with that. Um, I want to thank all the people that, have, even though it was a really rough week for me, it made me really think about a lot of things. There was a lot to learn. Um, and I contacted a couple organizations as well with no reply back. It really, this lack of transparency really upsets me. Yeah, that's Ro. That's the Rowan. Yeah, she's chilling. So it was a rough week. It really was. But I was blessed with dog food and toilet paper and a thing to carry my things and information. Bill is amazing at sending information to my email so that I can peruse it. And really, I'm really trying to learn as much as I can and share that knowledge. And today, the reason that I'm not focusing on the issue of necessarily just homelessness or displacement is because I think that we all go through rough times, and even in outreach, and we need to discuss it. We need to talk about it. We need to understand that that's what's going on. And I also was on a lot of social media. Um, that's kind of a norm for me, but it was really disheartening to see, like on some of the sites like Nextdoor or like West Seattle Connection, there's just really hateful people. And sometimes there's amazing people. But I had a thing with this guy, where, not a thing, I mean, in a social media context, um, where he said people just need to pick up their trash and put it in the receptacle. That's disgusting. And I was like, okay, but you have public sanitation. You have the ability to have that. And he came out with, I pay my taxes. As if the assumption is that the homeless population are not citizens and they do not do the same. Maybe those of us that can't work anymore, or lost their job or whatever, and they're not paying taxes at the moment. But come on now. And so I had to let him know. I was like, okay, you pay taxes. That's cool. Do you know what that offers you? Do you know what that gives you? What that special service is? You get to take part in public. You get to be a member of this beautiful community as a whole. You have the ability to have public services. Because here's the deal, if you don't have public services, you're just as gross as everybody else without them. We all need that. And I've done a thing about garbage as a human problem. And I will go back to that. Please refer you back to my other video about garbage being a human problem. But I pretty much was just like, what, you want a cookie? Like, it doesn't afford you, paying your taxes does not afford you anything better than another citizen. It affords you public services. That's what it affords you. It affords you the ability to take care of yourself and live in a clean and sanitary environment. And that should be for the rest of public too. If you want the pretty, shiny, gorgeous garbage containers, get them, have them. But basic garbage containers, we should all have it. We should all have it. And let me tell you right now, one little container in a 5-block radius for hundreds of homeless people, that's not going to care for the problem. And we can see that all over the place. So that's why I got to say that was another part of the week. And then just some outline problems. My kids moved to Louisiana, back to Louisiana, kind of on I don't know, a spur of the moment decision. And so the grandbabies are down there and they ran into some problems. So that was on my mind. And pretty much it was a week where all I wanted to do was pull the blankets over my head and just think about it. But that's not always an option either. And so I was feeling so guilty. I was feeling this horrible guilt when things were getting unscheduled, like, because when people are dying out there, it feels like such a time crunch to solve it. It becomes sometimes this overwhelming feeling like I could never do enough. And it gets really rough. And that's when I say, when I have a rough week, these are the things that are coming into me. And I was provided this easel, and actually, I will show it to you. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous easel and all those painting supplies. I was afforded that. And I started feeling guilty about wanting to paint. And so these things were just like clouding on me and getting to me. And then yesterday was 420. And for those of you who don't know what that is, 420 is a celebration of marijuana. And I was going to do and I might still do just a short vlog about 420. And I wanted to do it yesterday, but I got caught up in I don't look right, I don't sound right, I don't feel right. All these excuses for not coming to you and being vulnerable and being transparent, as to it's not always wonderful sometimes. Sometimes your hair is all frizzy and you got these things going on and your mascara is all down here and all you feel like is throwing the blanket up and going, ah, that's life. And I am learning how to cope with that. But what I wanted to say about 420 is that I wanted to take people through what my experience was. And I celebrated yesterday, and I celebrated not as a stoner holiday, but I celebrated on the issue of being able to end the stigma, being able to end the stereotypes about a safe medication, being able to not have to be on opiates, to having a decision to not be or have to be on alcohol, to have a decision to not be in so much pain that you want to end your life because of it. I celebrated for that. I celebrated to the amazing focus and calm and overcoming of brain injuries. I celebrated for the education that we have had and overcome. I celebrated for all the times that I was made to feel like an addict and a drug user because I wanted something that was going to make me okay. And so when we look at across the board celebrating 420 and we see the pot leaves and we see the smoke and we see people token up, understand that it's much deeper, much, much deeper than some sort of stoner holiday. We are celebrating the right to be all right. And so I will go on at a later date and do a vlog about my experience and what brought me to this understanding later on. And that was another thing I wanted to say is on my vlogs, I'm going to start going through them and kind of cleaning up and redoing some so that maybe they're a little easier to follow or reach a larger audience or whatever. So if you like some a lot, you might want to go and download them because I might take them off and redo them. I'm not sure. Hi, Roxy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Kate, I agree with you. The inflammation, the pain, the focus, the everything. I am thankful for that plant. I am so thankful for that plant. And willow bark. Because sometimes aspirin needs to be included for the inflammation. But anyhow, next thing. So I had a date yesterday. And my favorite part of it was truly the dogs. Like the guy was great. I think he's great. I'm probably going to see him again, but um, I think I realized just how much I love animals when the whole time I was just like, the dog, oh. So maybe I'm just the dog lady, as you can tell. So, and then on another level, and I'm just gonna I'm not gonna go into a big thing. I'm not gonna go really deep into it. Um, but we have to start prioritizing people over things. If we want to solve these issues, if we truly want to solve them, if we want to say these are things and we have to solve them, we have to start putting more into people than we put into places and things. And I say that with the utmost respect for relics. I say that with the utmost respect for things that people find inspirational, but nothing is as inspirational as helping others maintain a beautiful and healthy existence. And if you want to see what stands for humanity, that's it right there. And this understanding or this belief that whether you believe in a deity, which deity you believe in, gives you the right to hurt, maim, or take rights away from others, let me tell you right now, you're wrong. You're so wrong. No matter what you believe, what deity you believe in, it doesn't matter. It is a personal issue. And no matter what, no one has the right to kill, hurt, maim, or otherwise deny someone else the right to a safe and healthy existence. End of story. And if your beliefs cause you to think that way, I am begging you to step out of that and understand that the way to love, the way to compassion, and the way to empathy is by not believing that. No one has that right. So I'm going to just say that as there's been a lot of attacks lately, and I'm going to tell you, for all of you that are victims of these attacks, whether it be burning churches or terrorism, my heart goes out to you. And every time I read it or see it, I send you love and I send you compassion. And I want you to know that there are people who will do whatever they can to make this change and make it worth it, so people can have a beautiful, safe, and healthy existence. And as much as people make fun of having a safe place, as a person who didn't have one for a very long time, I won't make fun of it anymore. We should want people to have safety. We should want people to have a safe life and a healthy life and a beautiful life. Because all that does is make our lives better. And it makes us happier. And it makes our communities better. And it makes our world shine. So that is my message for right now. I just want to thank you all so much for your support. And Jeff, thank you. And that French press really does keep the coffee hot, which is awesome. And just all of you, and Bill and Kay, everybody, every cat, Liz, you guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate all of you, the ones that send beautiful messages, the ones that when I'm live show up to send me beautiful, kind messages. I appreciate you so much. And I want to thank you. And if you are celebrating Easter, happy Easter. And if you are celebrating other holidays, happy holidays. And I hope you all have an amazing and beautiful day. So that's all I have to say for now. And I am going to make a concentrated effort on being more transparent myself, even if I'm not feeling it, and even if I look like this and want to hide under the blankets, I'm still going to make an effort to be on here and chat and talk to you guys and really support my community. So that's what I got to say. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day, week. I should be on. I'm going to really try every couple days at least to be on here. Oh, that was another thing that I missed this week was I was supposed to interview two gentlemen that I brought supplies down there to, but they've rescheduled. And it was just really awful because I went and dropped supplies to them and they went to the William Booth Center. And the next message I got is that one of them was assaulted, OD'd, and was being taken to the hospital. So I guess that really weighed on me too this week. Was something I couldn't remember what it was that was really weighing on me like hard and made it such a rough week. But that was it too. So that's it. Anyway, have a beautiful, beautiful week. All I gotta say, and I will do others later. You guys sending so much love. I'll talk to you later.